Let me tell you a story. It's a story from a Korra about a beast named Brokkos who would lead an army to victory against many opponents, using only creatures and land. They won by generating card advantage, interacting with opponents' spells and permanents, and either attacking with large mutant creatures or damaging them directly with a combo. Like all stories, this one has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Brokkos liked to start by casting creatures that would help get more land onto the field. Other creatures could be land cycled in early turns to get needed land or saved for later as creatures. Often the cards that could search for any forest, island, or swamp would be used to get Zagoth Triome or Fetid Pools. Finally, a bunch of card draw and steal would also keep the mana coming. In the mid-game, Brokkos would try to get out creatures that could protect other valuable creatures or could protect themselves. This would then set up the mutation of creatures. Having a mutated Aetherling, Morphling, Troll-Ascetic, or Persist creature could be very difficult for opponents to deal with. 4 creatures were special in that they could protect other creatures by surprise from the hand rather than the battlefield. Hypnotic Sprite, Ninja of the Deep Hours, Mist Syndicate Naga, and Mystic Snake. And with Tradewind Rider or Temur Sabertooth active, these creatures' protective effects could be reused instantly, even after one of them was on the battlefield. Meanwhile, Fauna Shaman could get Sprite, Ninja, or Snake from the library to hand the instant they were needed. And Metathran Aristat could use its ability to return itself and put a creature from hand to battlefield at instant speed to either disrupt or protect. Mid-game also saw interaction with opponents who were doing something dangerous with creatures' permanents or spells. Aside from the counter magic creatures, there was a wealth of removal or bounce creatures that could disrupt opponents. As with the creatures who worked from the hand, most of these removal creatures could have their enter the battlefield effects reused if they could be returned to hand. Reuse didn't stop there either. If not needed for anything else, mana advantage or card draw creatures that worked when entering the battlefield were picked up and recast, creating a card advantage engine even when reusing removal was not an option. Finally, Brokkos himself would frequently enter the board as a mutation of a smaller creature to pressure opponents or be a deterring blocker. Brokkos would win by burying his opponents in disruption plus card advantage and attacking with protected large creatures. And frequently, a specific pair of creatures would be used to defeat opponents with direct damage. This pair of creatures could be brought together with the help of Prime Speaker Vannifar or Fauna Shaman. That pair was Sir Conrad the Grim and Miramad Phantasm. When both of these creatures were out, 1 and a blue mana would mill a random portion of Brokkos' library. Each creature milled that way would make Conrad hit each opponent for 1 damage. This often did more than 20 damage and could be immediately repeated for a smaller amount if the mana in the library was available. If the Phantasm was cloned and the clone was activated, then the entire library would be milled, because the clone's name in the library was its true name and not Miramad Phantasm. And that is how Brokkos, using nothing but creatures and land, would defeat many opponents.